So the final offshoot of this revolution in thinking and revolution in approach to understanding the universe that takes place through the scientific revolution in Western Europe is what's known as the Enlightenment movement. And the Enlightenment movement is directly inspired and an effect of the progress of the scientific revolution. Um, this idea that the universe is a machine, that it is this universal clock that runs on set natural and mathematical laws, begins to be applied to the social sciences, to the human aspects of our existence, politics, education, the law, society in general. Okay. And many independent scholars and thinkers begin to apply this reasoned, logical, scientific method approach um, to discovering natural laws that govern human life as well as the universe. And that if we use experimentation and observation to discover these natural laws, that we'll be able to put together the best possible society in which we could live. Um, so, this Enlightenment movement rejects tradition and superstitious methods of control throughout society. They praise independent thinking, the sharing of knowledge. They are very anti organized religion, which many of them see as a form of control. They are very anti monarchy and absolutism. They are very anti social stratification. Um, Pretty much all of these Enlightenment philosophers push for some kind of sharing of power or equality within society, either for race, for gender, or for social class. Now, here's the thing is that push for equality and sharing of power is to varying degrees. Some want to go further than others. Um, and in some cases, Enlightenment thinking is used as a basis for um, persecution of other members of society. People who still hold on to religious, to their religious beliefs. It's also in some cases used as a justification for racism and ethnic stereotyping. Um, so these Enlightenment beliefs, while very lofty in terms of their goals, are usually only applied to certain stratas of society. So there is, um, for all of the good that this Enlightenment movement brings, it is kind of narrow and in some places very hypocritical. But one thing that all of the Enlightenment movement has in common is that its ideas are rooted in the belief in human progress, and you can see the influence of Renaissance humanism here. They're rooted in the idea that civilization and society is not fixed; it's not static. Um, they throw off this idea of a divine right of kings, that certain members of society are chosen by God to rule others, and that position has no way of being overturned or changed. And pretty much all Enlightenment philosophers believe that people everywhere should not be constrained by tradition or superstition or by authority, no matter how long established it is. Okay. And this is a direct challenge to the two main sources of authority in Western Europe, which is the Roman Catholic Church, and royal absolutism. Okay. And these Enlightenment ideas become very powerful and very widespread, not only in Western Europe, but in the Americas as well. And they're going to be used to inspire and justify not only political, but social revolutions in Western Europe and the Americas that we're going to talk about in the next unit. And beyond that, and beyond the 17th and 18th century, these form the foundation of what we look at as modern democracy and modern political thought. Just to hit on a couple of these, you have ideas by John Locke, such as natural rights, the idea of a social contract between the people and their government, which imbues the government with its power. You also have the idea of the blank slate or the tabula rasa, where Locke says that human nature is not preset, that we are not innately good or innately bad, that we are not marked by sin, thanks to, Adam and Eve and the original sin. You also have Voltaire, who argued strongly for freedom of religion, also for freedom of speech and freedom of the press. You have philosophers like Beccaria, whose ideas about equality before the law, that people should have certain rights that are inviolable by the government. You also have philosophers like Mary Wollstonecraft, who push the envelope forward in terms of feminism and gender equality. And then you also have political thinkers like Montesquieu and Rousseau, whose ideas go on to form, again, the basis of modern democracy: separation of powers, the three branch system of government, checks and balances, the idea of majority rules, and things like that.